Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Gull Lake United Methodist Church's daily devotion. And today is the devotion for Monday, August 14th. The title of our devotion is Our Salvation, and our author is writing to us from Slovakia, and his name is Marco. I like to start out with the passage that they offer in the upper room. And today we are in the book of Psalms. It's 118, and we are reading verses 8 through 16. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. All the nations surrounded me, but in the name of the Lord I cut them off. They surrounded me on every side, but in the name of the Lord I cut them off. They swarmed around me like bees, but they died out as quickly as burning thorns. In the name of the Lord, I cut them off. I was pushed back and about to fall, but the Lord helped me. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. Shouts of joy and victory resound in the tents of the righteous. The Lord's right hand has done mighty things. The Lord's right hand is lifted high. The Lord's right hand has done mighty things. And then there is always a verse that goes along with the devotion. And so the verse that goes with Marco's devotion today is from this reading. It's Psalm 118, verse 8, that very first one. And it reads, "It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in humans." That's one of those hard passages to read in black and white and take literally. And it's one of those you have to think about and really take it into your heart and find that message that it's bringing to you. And so let's read the devotion that Marco's sharing and see if we can sort through that verse and what he is, by what he's saying to us and sharing. So this is Marco's devotion. When things go wrong, it can feel as if a heavy weight has fallen on our shoulders. In desperation to fix the problem, we turn to others for help. When we need to deal with paperwork, repair a car, or seek medical help, we know where to turn to get the assistance we need. But what happens when the person who is supposed to help us fails or doesn't have time? We may blame them for our problems, or we may even blame God. When we seek the help of people before we seek God's help, we lose sight of the central tenet of our faith. God is our salvation. We need to put all our hope in God because God is the ultimate source of our rescue. God knows every part of our lives, understands what we are going through, and is ready to move us toward the help we need. When we prioritize our relationship with God, we make room for God to act in our lives. When Christ is first in our lives, we can sense God's presence in every situation. So I have reread Marcos's devotion 2 or 3 times now. And so that I could, because at first it was like the verse that we're given to start with, it was a hard one for me to take in because it took me down the path of don't trust humans, trust God instead. And in my heart, I feel we have to do both. You need to trust God, and then you need to trust humans as well. And the solution came to me in what the prayer focus is that's given for Marco's devotion, and that is to put God first in our lives. And I think that was the key, and that helped me pull it all together, and I hope it will help you as well. We need to put God first in our lives, and when we have Him first in our lives, we have that trust, we have that faith, then we can move on to trusting others and trusting the situations that we have with others. And actually that is what Marcos offers as solutions in that last end of his devotion. He tells us, when we put God first in our lives, in other words, we prioritize our relationship with God, we make room for God to act in our lives. So he says, when we put God first in our lives, it makes room for God to act in our lives. And then because we have God first in our lives, we can sense God's presence in every situation. And so I think that is a great takeaway for our Monday devotion. To put God first in our lives, and that with that, it gives God room to act in our lives, to allow us to trust other people and to see God's presence at work in every situation we're asked to face. I hope that helps. And so today, pray for yourself to put God first in your life. Maybe there's somebody else that you can pray for as well that could use some help in helping prioritize their life. And with that, I think I'll close out the devotion. And to do that, let's have a quick prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for the gift of salvation. Forgive us when we fail to put you first in our lives. Amen. So put God first in your life. Think about that as you go through your Monday. And know that when he is first in your life, with that faith and trust, it gives God room to work within you to help you trust in his presence in all situations you face and the people that you face in those situations. It's a lot to think about on a Monday, but I think that will make for a good Monday. And with that, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here this morning, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. And with that, knowing that God is first in your life, you can feel his presence working in and through and around you this week. I wanted to let you know that Jeff and I will be traveling the next 2 weeks, and so I may not get a devotion posted. I'm going to go ahead and pre-record them, and I'm going to ask Pastor E if he can post them for me. And if something doesn't work out in all that, I will see you back here for sure on Monday, September 4th. It'll be September by then. And it will be Labor Day weekend. And so I hope you have a good rest of your week. Again, thank you for meeting me here on Monday mornings. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.